Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Spotter. Today, I am joined by a special guest, a fellow Just Coaching, as he's wearing the brand in there, team member,
That's it.
Harry Corio. Harry, welcome, mate. Thank you for coming on the podcast. It is a pleasure to have you on. And I know we've been talking about this for a while. It's just with obviously what we're into, we both compete, we both train like maniacs in a very sadistic way, as you should do. And I think it's just it's nice to get like-minded individuals on the podcast to talk about what led us to where we are, what led us to bodybuilding, talk about life, and hopefully, as you know, the podcast is about helping those that are suffering in silence by talking. So hopefully through this conversation, as casual as it can be, we will
of course
hopefully reach many individuals and, you know, spark some conversation. So thanks for coming on, mate. I really
appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's been good. Go on.
No, I was going to say that I wanted to hit record because as we were chatting prior to this, we were just speaking about the week. It was basically there's an event going on at the minute called the WNBF. It's the Supernaturals event, and we're both a bit gutted we can't be there. And as we're recording this now, we think that two of the main guys are probably going on stage very shortly. So probably recording at the wrong time, but that's content for you. You got to do what you got to do.
It is. Yeah, it's It's definitely a bit of mistiming, but so program will probably be on, as I said, in the probably next 5-10 minutes. You never know. Obviously, I don't know when the pro shows are today. I haven't looked at the roster personally. I don't know about yourself.
I haven't.
No, that's what I mean. I've just been following it throughout the day as the day's gone on. So
I did see a rough. I think I did actually see a lineup, but it didn't mention the pro shows in it. So I was like, I think it depends on when everything's done. I don't really know how I feel about that, though, because with a pro show event, I know they've split this year across the 2 days, which is a great move.
For sure.
There's going to be some teething issues. There's bound to be. Last year's, obviously, was you at last year's WNBF? I can't remember. What was the show you did last year?
So I did the first timers novice show. So that was June. My one was June. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the WNBF hosts 2 shows a year, so they are big events. You get the first timers in June normally, and then you get the Supernaturals, don't you? It's either September or October.
Yeah.
And they're massive events. But last year it ran on for a long time. The Supernaturals, it was a long day.
I remember some people saying it went on to very late, like 11. I think even later than that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think
silly late.
Yeah, the pro show ended up getting on around that sort of time, going into midnight period. But you know, its popularity, crazy. Natural bodybuilding is growing like mad, and I fucking love it.
It's great. It's so good.
I mean, you're young. You're 21. I'm
20 at the moment.
Wicked. So there we go. Still, you know, you're still in that, you know, that really young period for bodybuilding, and you can really capitalize on that. But what's your
for sure.
What's your background when it comes to bodybuilding? Because you competed last year. Was that your first time ever? Yeah, first time.
First time ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was So that was first time as teens last year. That was really good show. I enjoyed that. I honestly loved it. I think it's been something I've been looking into for years before that.
Yeah.
I have no friends who at the time were competing or any bodybuilding mates, so it's just a case of like slowly got into it. Just through seeing it online and then like starting to get into like the older golden era bodybuilding. I can't remember exactly what it was. It just sort of caught me online and it just sort of just resonated with me, and it just appealed to me in a manner which was sort of quite addictive to try and pursue. It's really weird. It's a crazy one.
The thing is, I mean, my background with bodybuilding is it's in my family, so there's like that natural. Oh, okay, maybe it's just I don't mean to say that's in the genes, but like my uncle, IFBB pro bodybuilder.
Nice.
Dad did it briefly when he was younger. My aunt did it as well, so it's all in that side. But when I was younger, I started training very young, but it wasn't until sort of 2017, 2018, I really started thinking, there's an avenue here. Like I enjoy this, but. I didn't get into it thinking I want to compete. I got into it out of a coping mechanism. You know, it was something for me that was helping me in a dark period of my life. And then that spawned a fascination into it.
100%.
I'd finish, honestly, my days, and I would sit
Mm.
in front of my massive bowl of probably Cocoa Pops at the time, standard,
Yeah.
and I'd have videos of Dorian Yates's fucking posing routines for his Olympia just playing every night, and I would just—it's almost I
Yeah.
was like studying them, like.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's great, and also when it comes to posing, like
Mm.
you're obviously known for your posing as well. Like you've helped a
Yeah.
couple of the lads as well. So
I have. Yeah.
is it a case that when you were getting into it, you were prepping, did you sort of think to yourself, I want to master this, I want to be really good at this?
Yeah, it was. So it started off being like obsessed with, as I said, the 80s and the 90s bodybuilders, like so that, people like Platts,
Yeah.
Arnold, you got like Frank Zane, and obviously as you move into the 90s, it's just the flow of it. It was just so appealing to be able to sort of convey and display an image and expressions and emotion just through posing. It's something that it just interested me so much, and it just built more and more throughout prep. I had a couple posing lessons with a coach or so, and it just resonated well.
Yeah.
And I just spent so many hours and days and just practicing little things and just trying to display stuff. And obviously show day, I got at the time they were doing the golden era round, or the classic posing round. I won that in my class, so I ended up going to the golden era overall later that evening. So it sort of just ticked off that box to me, to sort of just to know that I enjoy that side of bodybuilding so much, and that I love the classic golden part of bodybuilding. It just really interests me. It does.
Yeah.
I love it.
It is an art, and I think that what a lot of people don't realize, anyone that's not into this sport, like, trust me, anyone outside of bodybuilding, it's a weird world, but when you're in it, it makes complete sense. Like,
yeah.
I can imagine turning up to a show as an outsider and watching what goes on. You're thinking to yourself, what the hell is this? What's the fascination behind this? But what people don't see is the graft put in behind, what leads you to the graft and what keeps you going. And then perfecting a routine to show off your emotions in a 1 minute segment.
That's it.
And that's it. And it's powerful. Like,
yes.
And it's great to see. You're a great poser, and obviously, have you
Thank
thought
you.
about? Do you offer slots? Do you offer posing lessons to people?
I actually do. Yeah, I've got a posing call later with a client later this evening. He trains at your gym, Lewis. He's a younger lad. He's competing in a week and a half. I've had at least one or two clients from my posing clients. Yeah. Oh, 3 technically. Obviously Marco, Lewis, and another lad who was about a week out, and I did some posing 2 weeks ago. Like, it's been really quite good in that regard, because it's just, as I said, I look at my coaching and my posing stuff as just a hobby. I do it for fun and out just a passion of it. Because I do it around, as I said, around the busy job at the moment. So it's just lovely just to just do that on the weekend and just have fun with it. It's quite good.
Well, also, like, I think you've nailed it there, is most of this is a passion for us. And I think where people go wrong in this line is you've got so many people turning into coaches, I think, for the wrong reasons at the minute. I think coaching, whether maybe not so much posing coaching, but I think coaching in general, online, it's seen as an easy gig. Something you can transition into nicely. You work from home, work from anywhere. But really, there's so much that goes into it, and the best coaches out there are quite easy to find when you really look for them. And
100%.
There is a plethora of coaches out there. Like, you'll be fine. You can find someone, but whether or not they are a genuine coach, someone that actually has passion for their craft, it's not something that they just decided to do hoping to make a quick buck.
100%. Yeah.
I think that's where we're going wrong, and it's become so flooded, the industry, with disingenuine people. And it's very sad to see. But you touched on, and actually, to be honest, we're both a part of the same team. Let's talk about the obvious thing here. We've got one of the good ones. So shout out to Crogan. Yeah, there you go. Krog. Just coaching boys. Come on.
Krog dog.
My jumper's actually in the wash at the minute. I feel bad. We should have coordinated this, so we had the fuming, mate.
I didn't even think about it. I was just wearing it this morning. I was like, oh shit, I'm wearing it.
Yeah, we just done it.
Full sending up. Yeah.
Sponsored by Just Coaching. Yeah.
Just Coaching. Yeah.
Crogan is competing today. His first show of the season. Josh Crogan, for anyone that doesn't know, he's our coach, lead coach of Just Coaching, and He is a mastermind of the game. We love him. He's a great guy.
We do.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about certain coaching styles as well. I don't know about you, but I benefit from someone that I can almost call a mate. And
that's it. Yeah.
I think that's what he does really well. He balances it perfectly. And it works. It works brilliantly. So how long have you been with Josh now?
About a year. I think about a year now. Yeah. So I was with a previous coach when I competed, and Josh judged me on the WMF stage. Obviously, I followed the BSB podcast for a while, followed Josh for a while. Obviously, I was actually messaging him a lot throughout my prep because I had a lot of anxiety and a lot of stresses during prep, and also I would go to him because of, as you said, the relatability, the sort of the friend like nature of his approach with stuff. And I went to him after my first show. Met him on a day, actually. I was really good. I've got a picture of me and Josh when I'm all depleted, looking like a stick.
Absolutely.
But so obviously I approached Josh after my first show and just said to him, I want to be coached by you, and I want to sort of get the progression that I need, really. And it's been great ever since. Like, it's, like a good relationship's been formed. Just like crazy amounts of progress with it. As I said, I've learned so much as a coach and even as an individual through Josh because of sort of his approach with coaching. So it's been really good so far. Very good.
You coach athletes as well, don't you, in your spare time?
I do. Yes, I have four-ish clients. 4 or 5 clients at the moment. Obviously, it varies depending on how many posing clients on the team as well. So I had a lad compete earlier this year. He was a younger teen athlete, competed last year with me. He did miles better this year. Really good lad. And then obviously I coached Marco through his posing this year. Which was, to be fair, it's probably one of the highlights of this year, is just seeing, I sat behind you at WMBF, I remember. I was just shouting my heart out. Just seeing Marco just smash it on a day. It felt nice. It felt really nice to see it all come together. That was a very good day. That was.
That was a very good day earlier this year. That was the first time's event, wasn't it?
It was.
That was a just coaching cleanup. That was a wicked day.
Unreal. What a day.
No, Marco's a good lad. He's got a lot of potential, that boy. But we're talking about potential. Like, I think someone with your shape. So for anyone listening, go and check out. I will link Instagram handles and down below. But you've got a wicked shape. You talk about classic. You can tell that it's your passion as well. Like, what's your plans going forward? So we spoke before, and you were roughly talking about a similar timeline to me. I'm not decided yet, to be honest with you. I'd say definitely similar timeline. I'd love to go back to WMBF. Like, I think I just love that federation. I think obviously what it stands for and the standard of athletes is just quite immense. And obviously, because it said standard, it sort of brings in the athletes who have pushed themselves. So that interests me. I'd love to try a PCA show. I've never done one, so it'd be nice to sort of see what it's like on the day for them. I'm honestly very open for any shows. I think just the more experience I get, the better. Obviously, it'd be lovely to qualify for some big shows, and just really, just as I said, just push myself as much as I can with bodybuilding, and just really, really make the competitive season worth my while. So I think that's the goal. It's just having range. I think with each federation are slightly different. Obviously, with the PCA are massive, but and they've started branching out now, haven't they, into having their natural comps, which is great.
Very cool.
I think that a lot can be learned from the PCA, how they structure their shows, how they do the lead ups. They're very professional. But again, I'd argue that sometimes you see the quality of athletes across the board at someone like the WMBF is miles better. I honestly think natural bodybuilding is taking over, and I think with the right targeted growth and interest, it can be huge over the next sort of 5 to 10 years.
Absolutely.
But you talk about obviously wanting to do a PCA show. Like, I will say to you, they are so efficient. I did PCA Midlands last year, so actually it's a year ago today, which is crazy.
Oh my gosh,
that's mad. So I did PCA Midlands. brilliant event, very well
Yeah.
timed, very swift. I was registered, done. I was registered at about 9:30, 10. I was on stage at about 2:45, finished by
Oh,
3:15, and then that was my day done.
happy
That was
days. Nice.
perfect.
Very good.
Very good show.
Mm,
Definitely recommend the PCA just to get, just to try it out.
mhm.
I think that next year, if I do compete, or the year after, I'll try and do an actual PCA natural show. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. There's a fine line as well between doing too many shows, and I
Mm,
wouldn't say there's too little, but you want to get enough where you can see like a range of athletes against yourself,
mm.
but not wash yourself out, because obviously the longer you're in
That's
prep,
it.
it becomes so hard to maintain a look.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, well, as I said, we'll probably go into that of how my first prep went and how it went as a whole. Like I probably could have been a lot better. I had a lot of issues with my prep. But yeah, as you said, like the look can just wash out if you push too hard, and as I said, if you're not refreshed. To be fair, like yeah, 100 definitely happens
Yeah, it's a
for
big
sure.
management game. But
Yeah.
with with your prep, then you're on about, obviously
Mm.
it didn't it was quite difficult during.
Mm.
Was it quite like anxiety ridden? Was there a lot going on behind the scenes, or
Uh, so to be fair, for the most part, I was quite over dieted. It was a long prep. I think it was about 22 or 24 weeks, which was, I thought, sound, happy days. I'd lots of time to prep, and it was going very well. As I said, there was a lot of stresses around work at the time. I was doing a different job, not the same one at the moment. I was taking up a sort of a managerial role when I was 19, so there was a lot of external stresses I was trying to balance, and at the time I was learning to drive, so there was that constant anxiety of thinking, oh, if I don't pass, what if I don't do this, do that?
yeah,
And then like food was always super low. Like I think I was saying this to Josh, he was shocked about this. I was running 20 carb for about a good 2 months. Two
20
months.
carbs?
Yeah, 20 carb, 250 protein, 40 fat. Yeah, I was running food low on prep for like
Mate, and even
a
just
good
quick,
two
like that
months.
that 40 fat is even quite low as well. Like
Yeah, I was
paired with that carb, no, that's insane.
yeah, I was a hormonal mess, mate. I literally could not. I was a husk of a man on prep. It was bad,
Damn,
so
mate.
bad.
I mean, perks for you for coming through that. That's insane.
Yeah,
And wanting to do it again. That's mental.
yeah. It was, as I said, like you watched the Dorian Yates stuff. I just used to watch Dorian Yates. Well, Yates probably did that. Like all these bodybuilders I'm watching, I'm like, oh, they probably go low carb like that, no fat. I'm like, yep, sound. I'll just do that. Happy days. It was as you said, like a tunnel vision mindset, and I just got through it. I was like, oh, did all right in the day, happy with everything, and then it was that post reflection where I was just like, that's where everything hit. I was, oh my gosh,
Yeah,
it was the rebound was more of a mental torment than a physical one for sure.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%,
Was it,
100%.
were you like, I obviously don't like to bring up any like bad memories or anything, but like, was
Mm.
it a case of you being like, oh my God, I'm free, I don't know what to do, like, and then you just binged, or?
It was a strange one because I was quite controlled post show. Like obviously I had like a pizza,
Yeah, nice.
had a couple of snacks and stuff, got home, and I think it was just that the slow week or two after, as if the post show blues sort of hit quite heavily,
Yeah,
and then it was just the feeling of then going back into dieting. It just didn't feel right. Like my brain was I just hormonally emotional. I wasn't there. I felt like I very detached from everything
yeah,
post show. Like I just kept looking at my post. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to look better than that again if I do this show again, because I just felt so, as I said, like I felt a lot like too skinny at the time or too fat. Like it was just like the swings and roundabouts constantly between like looking great, looking awful, in between. I sort of just constantly yo in between the both. And then I'll be like, oh, I need more food, so I'll eat more food. Or it would just be this constant cycle of back and forth with juggling that feeling, which was quite a struggle. So and then I just pulled out the supers. I was like, I just couldn't fathom or deal with that dieting phase for that.
so you were set to do the supernaturals,
I was set to do supers, yeah, last
mate.
year.
No wonder, like, I'm not being funny.
Yeah, yeah.
A June showing to then go
Mm,
to what it was in
October.
October. That's
Mm,
Yeah, that's a mental grind there to be like, right, I can come
yeah.
out for a bit and then we got to dial back in. That's a long
Mm,
time. Yeah,
yeah. It was a strange one because it was a case of, oh, I obviously had a bit of a rebound. It was nice, and then it was when I came back off the sort of the chill maintenance phase. trying to get back into it. It wasn't clicking. Like we were bringing food quite low quite quickly at the time, and it was just like the mind just wasn't what like I just wasn't clicking. Like everything just felt horrible. Like joints felt crap.
Yeah.
The main thing for me, I think, it was the emotional and the hormonal side. I just felt like a mess. Like I just didn't. It's almost like I wanted to get away from bodybuilding because of just like how crap I was feeling at the
Yeah.
time.
I mean, no wonder, like those
Mm,
numbers, like
yeah,
that's just pulling you into the ground. Like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
yeah, like you said, hormonal mess. So,
Mm,
we learn through these moments.
mm,
Like, you've come through this now. You're aware that that doesn't need to be the case. Like,
for sure.
I mean, from me to you, like, it's mad hearing that, because
Mm,
you think to yourself as well, like, even if you did have like a better carb balance there with your fats, you just might have felt so much more like, I'm not
healthier.
saying you would have done the supers. Maybe you would have been like, actually,
Mm,
well, still pulled out, but maybe you would have been like, actually, no, I'm good to go. I'm ready to
yeah,
come back in and dial in again.
100%. Yeah,
Um, but again, you're young as well.
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm ancient. I'm 27. I've
Mm,
done 2 seasons.
yeah.
I've done 1 season, and my first season, it always has a special place in my heart, because I won my first show. Like, and that was to go in having no idea what was going to come. I had no
Mm,
expectations. I was like, I'm just here for the day, like,
that's it.
because I knew I'm in this for the long haul. So I didn't care about
Mm,
the placing. So it made it even better, being like, oh my god, I've won it. But I was I was run into the ground for
oh
that. Like,
yeah.
it was a very old school way of thinking. Like, let's just run you into the show. I I think I didn't. I think I was doing cardio 2 days out, so I barely
Oh
had time to refresh.
my
And
gosh.
mate, I was a bloody walking miracle. I felt like
Yeah,
a zombie.
yeah.
But had that high of the show win, and I was like, oh, okay. Well, this must be how it is.
Must be normal. Yeah,
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 it's crazy
yeah.
what it does to you. Like,
Yeah, it's
I was.
crazy.
I mean, the morning of the show, I was having 6 a.m. first meal. I was having steak and almond butter with nothing else. Got to the show, I'd had no water, double
Mm,
espresso. I think, honestly, God knows what time I was on stage. I can't remember, but I'd had maybe max like 750 ml of water throughout the day. Crazy, absolutely
crazy.
crazy.
That is crazy.
I know that's wrong. I
Mm,
personally, I think that's wrong, but
yeah.
it got me a win. It's an old school way of thinking. Those
Oh yeah.
methods of like pulling back water, like gradually trying to get the body to like fill up in an instant prior to getting on
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
It's
Just
weird. Like, I
yeah.
don't know about you, but ultimately, if you want muscles to be full, you need water. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
it, yeah,
Yeah.
it's. But
100%.
it's schools of thought, isn't it? So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's a crazy journey, mate.
Mm,
It's an emotional minefield. So I bet you were just all
mm.
over the place at the time. Um,
Yeah, I was. Yeah, it was an interesting one, but I think I learned a lot about myself during that prep. I think with just everything, like I lost a lot of like friends, and like my social life wasn't great because of it. Um, but as I said, I learned a lot about myself as an individual and like overcoming adversities. Like there's always been a thing I've been good at with life is just overcoming those adversities and just pushing through
yeah,
to a goal, whether it be small, big, you know, for myself, for someone else. It's always been something I've just been able to just tunnel vision my way through, which is good and bad. Obviously, it has its pros and cons, I suppose.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's something I can do and have done.
I mean, talk about the friendship part.
Mm,
Was it the case that the relationships? This is a question like where I don't want. No, it's an open podcast. Let's just say this. Do you think
yeah,
the
yeah,
relationships were strong enough to begin with, or maybe they weren't? Hence, why they did. You said obviously you maybe lost some friendships or
mm,
have
mm,
grown apart from some people. Because I always
mm,
think this, like, regardless of what you want to do in life, I know things are a two-way street, but if
yeah,
individuals dislike what you do in life, I
mhm,
I know you can have opinions. If you have true friends, people that claim to be your friends throughout so long, and then they start to distance themselves or have issue with what you're doing in your life, surely that's more of a representation of their insecurities with what they're not doing
yeah,
sometimes. Do you get what I mean? Like, it's not that,
100%, yeah,
you know, granted, not everyone wants to be a bodybuilder and prep, but
Of course.
because you're taking action and you're stripping back in aspects of your life to, push, long-term, long-term goals, long-term gain, you're committing to something, you are sacrificing for gain. I think that people have issue with that because they know they won't do it themselves a lot of the time.
No, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So
yeah, it's yeah.
did you actually lose friends throughout the prep?
I wanted to say it was like drifted. As I said, it was just a case of like I was just so focused into it, and like it's drifted. Like I wouldn't go out drinking, I wouldn't go out and do stuff. I was just so focused on a couple goals in that last year, just like passing my driving, as I said, nailing my first show, and just pushing those aspects as much as I physically could.
Yeah.
And obviously a lot of people would just, would rather just stick to what they were doing, which is absolutely fine. As I said, I was just so focused on my goals. It became, as I said, a bit like tunnel vision around the whole situation. Yeah.
Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? Because when you take on this to try and maintain all these relationships, this journey, your job, your career, it's a lot to do. And like you said, you had added extras of obviously learning to drive as well. So
yeah,
it's huge. There's a lot going on, and actually you go into like a robotic sense of state. You just keep ticking certain boxes every day, and then you realize weeks have gone by and you haven't maybe checked in with people. You haven't done something you claimed you were going to do because you're so focused on three things.
Yeah.
It's hard, but
yeah,
I mean, first prep to the second prep last year, I'm completely different. Last year was managed so much better. I was still maintained relationships. I still had a social life. I didn't drink. I didn't do things like that and eat, but I kept things up together. I was present. I tried my hardest just to balance where I could, but it's not easy. It's not easy at all.
of course not. No, of course.
No, it's just people don't get it. Some people just don't get what we do, and again, that's fine.
That's it.
But ultimately, I'd argue that the people closest to you, regardless of what you're doing, obviously, unless it's something really bad, should have that sort of sense of fair play to you. You're committed to something, and I respect that. It's not my gig, but I can see you're passionate about it. So, as your friend, fair play.
100%. Yeah.
It's a difficult
Yeah.
one, but I've got a lot of friends from the bodybuilding world now, and it makes that easier because they get it.
So have I, obviously through the Just Coaching team, obviously Jack, Kyle, we went away to Sweden earlier this year because obviously we met each other through bodybuilding. Obviously Marco, me and Marco are very close. We always talk all the time.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little team that people you meet, like even the lads I competed with last year, still chat to every now and then, sort of see how they're getting on. But it's nice. You sort of have that connection through a similar goal, which is it's quite nice, and also at times quite wholesome. As I said, like you share those moments with people, and it's very nice.
It is
very
wholesome.
good.
That's the word for it, because it's an emotional journey.
It is.
My partner's doing her first prep this year, and
I've seen,
I said to her beforehand, I said, look, regardless of what happens, you will come out of this a completely different person, and it will be for the better.
100%.
Because even if you don't want to step on stage again, you would have learned so much. Like you said, you learn so much about yourself and what you're capable of. Your day goes from this to this, and you can fit things in. And I've seen a massive change in her, and I've never pushed any of this on her. And I think people like to joke like she's turning into a mini me, or not so mini me. She's got better legs than most people I see. But she's taken it in her stride. She loves it now, and she's chatting to me about like, oh yeah, well I'll get out of this. Maybe I'll have a mini off season, and maybe I can capitalize on doing it again next year and doing wellness. And I'm like, yo, just get through this first, just calm, and then we'll see. But it's
so cool.
It's great to see, mate. I love sharing it with her. It's nice to have a common goal and an interest again.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's very good. It's nice to hear.
It is good.
It's very good.
But talking about obviously what you've managed during that prep, you spoke. You mentioned about your job as well, and I know a little bit about what you do, but I think it'd be good, provided you can, because I know it's a bit of a. I'm just really intrigued, and I want to see how you manage it. Now, am I right in saying you? I don't want to get this wrong. Do you work
Hmm.
in the prison service, if that makes
So
sense?
yeah, so it's within the prison service. So it's I'm under the prison custodial officer contract, so PEX contract. So I do the prison escorting and custodial stuff. So basically, I do the court-based stuff
Yep.
as well as the custodial transport. So you might in your area, or obviously you're not too far from London. There's lots of courts around that area. So under the company I work for, we run the courts as well as do the transportation from police stations, from prisons to courts, and we will deal with that custodial side there. So I've been doing that job for nearly 10 months. I started October, November last year. So
Yeah.
did that post show last year. It's been a good job. It's a different job for sure. Obviously, it's very unconventional in its own ways. Obviously, we've spoken many times about some of the unconventional manners of the job.
Yeah.
Um, it does definitely give me a bit of a purpose, and as I said, it gives me a lot of perspective with life. Obviously, I see the sort of the worst in humanity as well. Sometimes even the best parts, like some of the things you see, some of the actions people would do to do with things that have happened. It's as I said, it gives you a lot of perspective, and gives you those sort of things that most people won't see. It's sort of like the underbelly of the justice system. It's an interesting one for sure. Yeah, it
Do,
really is.
do you ever
Um,
take away anything with you mentally from what you have seen or heard?
yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Obviously, I had an incident. It would have been last week. That's probably like one of my bigger ones I've had to deal with so far. It's my first proper hands-on control and restraint with a custody, and then we had to move him from a Crown Court to prison van, and then prison van to prison. It's a case of having to get in a like riot kit and having to restrain him. Obviously, he didn't want to go. He was going to do anything in his means to stop us from moving him. So I said, through um, piss at us, and he just basically just fought like hell. I got injured from it, which is obviously it's a good laugh, but as I said, we moved him, and then it was just a case of taking him to prison. I got out of all that kit, took him to prison, but it's just the after actions of just him the whole way, just obviously attempting to harm himself the whole journey down, obviously using his shirt, uh, breaking stuff in the van to attempt to cut himself and stuff. Obviously, you see a lot of these things, and you have to deal with them a lot of the time. Like lots of times, just stopping people from hurting themselves, just because of the mental side of what's going on with them. They might have some issues withdrawing from medication,
Yeah.
alcohol,
Yeah.
drugs. It's yeah, people can act quite erratically. So yeah, there's a lot of intervention with the job, and obviously a lot of things I've seen and done, but I don't regret it in any way. Obviously, I'm stopping someone from hurting themselves and taking their own life. It gives me a bit of pride back,
Yeah.
but obviously you carry that with you a little bit. Of course, obviously I have my moments, which is totally normal. As I said, I talk to friends, family, to spoken to you about it as well. Obviously, it's you have those things, but it's part of my job, day in, day out. If it happens, I deal with it, and
You,
yeah.
yeah. It just sounds like you have a good means of coping with it, but
Mm,
it's nice to hear you saying you feel like obviously that have purpose. You feel like you're
mm,
able to prevent certain things as well, because that's I think that obviously counts as just the weight of what you see and what you hear.
mm,
But
yeah.
mate, I couldn't imagine. I bet it's. I mean, there must be something. This sounds very interesting, but I couldn't
Mm,
imagine having to see a lot of that and dealing with it. Like obviously, you
yeah.
said to me, didn't you? You got injured the other day, so that
Yeah.
sadly you can't help that.
Yeah. Of
And
course. Of course.
we're so mobile and flexible, us bodybuilders, eh?
Ugh,
But
stiff as a board.
hey, look, the strength comes in handy every now and again. So
It worked very well last week, that's for
there you
sure.
go. And yeah, everyone says, "Oh, bodybuilders are just useless." No, we're not. There are some
No,
uses. Yeah.
there is. Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
but I, yeah, it sounds as if it's quite a lot to carry emotionally, and
Yeah.
hopefully you get moments where you can you don't have to just hold it all in. Hopefully you get moments where you can talk to people. I'm more than happy. Like we had a chat, didn't we? Like,
Yeah.
hope, if there's ever a need for you to reach out and just talk about things, I'm always here, mate. Like,
yeah, I appreciate that.
And hopefully, you've got people in your life where you can do that with as well.
Yeah, luckily I do. Obviously, a lot of my colleagues, obviously, we're all in the same sphere. Obviously, usually once the adrenaline's worn off and you had your laugh and a joke, that's when you will sometimes seriously talk about it. As I said, we're all pretty well trained in dealing with everything. Like, everyone has each other's back, luckily, in my sphere. You're not on your own, which is good. As I said, we all look after each other. I said, like, my mum, she was ex-prison service, so I always chat to her about things I do and deal with, because she's probably dealt with similar things similar to me.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously my mum herself is a big role model to how I hold myself as a person, for sure. Like, her way of dealing with adversity and things over the years, even now with her health issues, I aspire to adhere to things like she does. So it's, I chat to my mum a lot in regards to just everything going on, really. Yeah.
I respect that. That's something I can really, that hits home with me in that sense. Just the how much I model myself off of my mum as well and what she's been through. But just to touch on that, then, is it so your route to that career, was that via family, or was it something you thought, I want to do that?
So it was actually obviously it was actually a recommendation from my mum. I was working at Pure Gym at the time. Wasn't enjoying it. I was like,
why did you ever leave? Yeah.
I know. It was more just thinking, like, I was like, Pure, I was just like, I'm not getting the fulfillment. Like, I'm helping people, which is great, but it was almost too much of one passion. And I was like, you know what? I need to get away from this. My mum found a job on Indeed. She's like, I can see you doing this. Like, I obviously was in the prisons, but these guys do a very similar job. I can see you doing it. I obviously applied, did my training, started the job, and as I said, it just clicks. I just fit into the role really well. Like, I will literally spend hours chatting to a customer sometimes, just to, if they're feeling, as I said, unwell, or if they're feeling quite anxious and stuff like that. Like, there's very high stress moments. Like, I saw a couple lads on Friday who I saw a couple months ago when they first got remanded. They were quite suicidal. I spent a lot of hours talking them down, chatting to them, reminding them why they need to stay around. And I said so on Friday, and it's much better. And obviously I gave them a good handshake, good chat with, and obviously they said they're doing much better, which is, I said, it gives you that little bit of a nice feeling when you sort of hear that from someone who you might think, oh, he's just a criminal, but it's, what I mean, like, it's still people. There's a very humanity side to the job. Obviously, got people who will just want to fight. That's fine, but most people are going through lots. So obviously, it's having that human side and chatting to people is something I'm quite good at.
Yeah.
And I'll happily spend hours talking to someone to just, look after them if I can. So
it's it's nice to hear, because as much as we're also tunnel visioned in what we want to do in bodybuilding, it's nice and refreshing to hear that you've got something you're equally, and it sounds like you are equally as passionate about now outside of that, in the form of a career. Because like, for myself, like, it's well known that, well, for most people, I work in the tech, in the technical world. And it's been great for me. I've worked up to management positions. I'm in a senior position now.
Nice.
I'm able to very much, it works well for my bodybuilding lifestyle. And I'm in that transitional phase of cutting my work hours down to build up a coaching and then finish my PT course, because I want to do that.
Yeah.
But you make a good point. Like, there is that element of, okay, well, what if it is too much for me? What if I end up PTing, coaching and training myself and then taking on clients? Am I just going to burn out? Hopefully not. But it can happen to people. But and you obviously understood that early.
I've always been attracted to service jobs. Like, my whole childhood, I wanted to join the armed forces.
Nice.
That was probably the turning page of why I got into bodybuilding, because I wasn't able to.
Okay.
I went to a military prep college, got to the point where I was physically and mentally ready to go. It was just my medical history. I used to have epilepsy a lot as a kid.
Okay.
and it was obviously on my medical records, so it's stopped me from getting into the forces. Unfortunately, I applied for all three branches.
Yeah.
Originally for Marines first, and then I went for rifles in the army, and I went for RAF Reg. I was like, it's my last ditch effort. I was like, I will try it. If it works, it works. I'll go for it. Sadly, none of them went through. It's all the same issues. They just pull in loads of things from my history and all that. Like this, and this.
Shit.
You're not eligible to join. So it was sort of, that was a big turning moment where I was like, you know what, I don't know what I'm going to do. I remember at the time, so like the partner I was with, who was supporting me through everything at that time, we stopped seeing each other, or we sort of broke up at the same time, but I couldn't get into the forces. So it was that moment of, it was like February, was it 2020? I think it was 2022 or 2023. That was a big turning point in bodybuilding for me. Like, couldn't get in the forces. Girlfriend at the time, we split. Wasn't a nice breakup. It was just a shambles.
Yeah.
It wasn't very good. But I learned a lot from that. I just then sort of, as you said, gym became said coping mechanism for
Saving grace. Yeah.
the feelings and the sort of almost a lot of self-resentment for no reason. I just at that point blame myself a lot for I couldn't get in the forces, because it was technically out of my control, but I still blame myself. And then me and my partner breaking up at the time was, I just blame myself. It just happened. I blame myself for that. And then I just sent it all into the gym, and it just sort of it was a bit unhealthy for a couple of months. It was just training super stupid, super hard all the time. And then trying to couple that with working loads and loads and loads. It got worse and worse. And then eventually it just sort of just became normal to just train. And then the feelings became just less and less of resentment. It was strange. It's very strange one when I talk about it. I don't think about it often. But yeah, it's a strange one for sure.
It just sounds like you had a massive emotional turning point in your life, and you ended up turning to something that you were able to, that was able to maybe block out the noise, and then eventually became something you loved. And similar to me, you know,
for sure.
It was a coping mechanism, and then it spawned into a passion, which is it's lovely, it's beautiful, but mate, that's a troublesome, a tough period for you. Like, that's a lot to happen at once, and you know, coupled with that idea of I don't know what I want to do. You know, you've got a partnership breaking down as well, and then you're probably spiraling, thinking, well, everything's falling apart. Like, I get it, mate. It's rough. And you touched on the medical side of things for yourself, and I actually wasn't aware that they would pull apart so much as do I get it? Maybe on the front of they're trying to find people that obviously, I suppose with epilepsy, my mum's got it as well. It's risky, isn't it? It is risky, but
it is. Yeah.
Obviously, she's controlled with medication, but I mean, I guess that maybe they're really picky about certain things. I wasn't aware of that, but
it's almost like they end up doing a risk assessment based on, I think, the medical issues. Obviously, like, they will have things which might be a red flag. So it's obviously, because it's the brain, it's something which is quite an uncontrollable factor, because obviously so many things can cause it. Like, it could be heat, could be like audible stuff, could be, as I said, like light, it could be anything, as it could just cause stuff, stress. So many factors could cause. And obviously when you're under, obviously especially in training and stuff, you're under so much stress and tensions all the time, and exhaustion. It could just happen on like a field exercise. And as I said, obviously, and they're accountable for then technically employing you, sort of thing. It's I understand it now. Obviously at the time I was a 16, 17-year-old. I was obviously like fuming, because I was like, that's all I wanted to do. It's everything I wanted in my life was that. So it was, at the time, I didn't understand it. But obviously upon reflection, I get it now. It makes sense. But I've obviously been able to sort of push that passion into other hobbies, and obviously with the job I do now, it's, you know, service related. I can sort of funnel that purpose behind, which for me is nice.
You've got that purpose element now. It's clear to see that, like, for what you were looking for, you are giving back through your job now.
Mm,
You're doing something that you can leave and finish and be like, I'm glad, I'm happy with what I've done this week. I'm proud that I am the individual I am, and I'm able to give back to people and help
that's
people in
it.
these instances. And I think it's really important. You said, granted, there are cases where I understand that we may look at individuals in a certain way because of
Mm,
certain crimes committed. Fair
of
enough.
course.
But they are humans. They
Hmm.
have emotions. They have
Yep.
thought processes. They go through a lot. And if in certain situations you can provide that comfort, provide that
Hmm.
reassuring voice, that's
Hmm.
massive, mate.
Yeah.
And you're doing a lot for people there. So,
Mm.
you should be very proud for what you do.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
That's
I
good.
do. Yeah, I do try on that front because, as I said, some people are a bit more old-fashioned. They might be like, "Oh, slam the cell door shut and walk
Yeah.
away." But obviously, if it's a case, you hear certain things they might say,
Yeah.
and you're like, you know what? Give me 5 minutes. I'll have a chat. And they
Yeah.
usually they might be like, "Yeah, cheers, Gov. Thanks for that. I appreciate that." You
Yeah.
know, they might ask about what's the next step because it's a very crap system, the UK justice system. So it's sometimes trying to ease off those little corners sometimes that people have to take because 1 minute they're here and then straight here up again, and it's just like they will just be everywhere.
Yeah.
And obviously, it's not by their will most of the time. So obviously, it's you do get that erratic reactions from people when you have to intervene, and then usually they might calm down, but I'm sorry, God, that's my bad. Like, didn't mean to do that. It's just I just wanted to get out of judge or some, I mean, those things. It's those
Yeah.
emotions, and obviously where they're not funneled into something like the amount of lads I've told to when they're going to prison, I'm like, lads, get into the gym. Those anger you've got, that sort of frustration, just channel it a little bit.
Yeah.
I saw another guy, he's lost, got 5-10 kilos whilst he's been in prison, and he's like, I'm loving it. Like, cheers for the advice. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're able to just steer people down sometimes a better path. It might only be temporary, but as I said, it still helps people where I can.
Just that bit
So
of
it's,
positive
yeah,
influence. Yeah. It's wicked.
yeah,
It goes a long
yeah.
way.
Mm,
And sometimes people don't get that opportunity to see how it affects individuals or influences them,
mm,
but you do a lot of the time, and that's great.
for sure,
So
for sure.
I bet that provides a lot to you.
Mm. Yeah, for sure. I get a good insight into just more about everyone with people. To be fair, obviously you see all walks of life. A lot of people might turn their nose up at someone who might be homeless, but obviously I've seen so many people who just will commit a petty crime to just have a house, to have food, and that's usually the sadder side of stuff. And it's like,
100%.
you know what I mean? Like they're the regulars, and they're just like, yeah, it's good to see you again. And I'm like, what are you in for? Theft, something small, and they're like, yeah, I just need somewhere to go. I might understand. And obviously, yeah, it's a crazy time we're in at the moment. It's a very busy job because of the sort of failure of the system. It's a shame. It really is.
And also, I can imagine with just the structure of sadly, the way in which the world, our country is
Mm.
right now. And obviously, I try not to get
Too,
political, but like,
yeah, neither do I. Yeah, stay away
it's
from it.
a, yeah, we are in a bit of a shoddy situation in a minute in this country. We
It
really are.
really is. Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so yeah, those instances where you're on about, the petty crimes and theft and things like that, you don't know
Hmm.
what people are doing to survive nowadays.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's easy for us to sit in our houses in the warmth and judge individuals.
Yeah,
But if you haven't been in that situation, how can you judge?
yeah.
Why do we have this feeling that we can pass judgment because we are where we
Mm.
are and they are where they
Hmm.
are? So because you don't
Exactly.
know them. Go and have a chat with
No.
them and see, you
Yeah.
know, half the time, my mum's great for this. My mum's she's had nothing in life. She
Mm.
has been in and out of work when she was younger. Tried to hold down a career. She became extremely ill with bipolar, and that that was after the birth of my sister, and
Mm.
that completely steered her off into a direction in life which she had no idea that was going to take effect. And then she's had nothing. She's been she's struggled all her life, and she still manages to keep a smile on her face. She still manages to go past individuals. If we go historically, we go to Tesco's and things like that, and you see the homeless individual on the street just outside the shop. She will
Mm.
always go up to them and just have a chat with them. Obviously, whether or not you agree with it, it's up to people. But she smokes, and she'll
Mm.
offer them a fag.
Hmm.
So a lot of the time, that's just one little release that they can have in the day.
That's it.
And she'll usually give any last bit of change she's got in her pocket to them. And I just sit there and I'll never tell her not to do that, because that's genuine and that's very kind-hearted, because she doesn't know the individual,
Yep.
and she just sees at face value that they are potentially struggling, and she'll just go and have a conversation with them.
Yep.
And I love it. I think it's great. And I think if more of us were like that in life, potentially, we wouldn't as a nation be so judgmental.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's hard, mate. But no, it's wicked to hear you've got something in your life that brings you that pride for what you do.
Mm.
I
Mm.
think a lot of people yearn for that. We want to do things in life that bring us that sense of fulfillment. So if that does it for
Yep.
you,
Hmm.
good on you, mate, and you found that. So
Yeah.
I mean, question for you then: where do you see? Obviously, because you're young now. Do you say you're 22 now, or just turning 22?
I'm 20.
Wait, I think I heard you're turning 21. Sorry, you're
Yeah.
20.
Turning
Yeah,
to,
because we were
so,
talking about
yeah.
you junior still.
Yeah.
So where would you see yourself in 10 years' time then? And that's a big sort of like
Ooh,
vision, but
it's a big one. I still see myself within the Ministry of Justice. I think in a career, I think the two avenues I'm looking at is either going down the police route or prison service route.
yeah,
I think those are the two routes where I can see myself progressing as an individual down there. I think police, as I said, it's a hard one to police at the moment because of the current climate you know, with everything at the moment. So it's not as appealing to police, but like the prison, where I'm sort of within the prison service a lot, it is very appealing.
yeah,
Yeah, I think within those two jobs, I would just love to progress down there. And obviously, with prison service, you can go down you can be a PT in a prison. As I said,
true.
obviously, I have that experience. That'd be nice. Um, or down the police route, I'd love to go down the armed response route if I could. It's just finding, as I said, the right opportunity to seize it and then go down that route. Because at the moment, this job's good. I think I want to do a good year, maybe year and a half, and then I'll be like, right, what's my opportunities looking like? I think the more experience I get, the better, because then it just carries across into any of those said two industries,
Yeah,
and you can then just push it. Pardon me, sorry, full throttle down there.
yeah,
As I said, like, I've got loads of friends within now the job who have moved to police, who've gone into the prison service, and they said like they've transferred the skills that they got from the job I'm currently in into them really well.
yeah,
So the options there, it's a stepping stone at the moment. I said like I'm getting that experience and that sort of exposure to um, people within the job, as I said, like whether that be officers, custodies, the whole court system, like you're just
yeah,
exposed to it and you sort of soak it in, and you can then sort of decide what path you want to go through. For some people, they try and they go, I hate this job, I'm not doing it.
yeah,
Some people like myself, they sort of soak it up and they enjoy it. They find a sort of bit of unity within the team and how it operates, and sort of a bit of passion to want to work and progress hard. Like I do silly hours sometimes, like between 40 to 60 hours usually a week.
really,
Yeah, and I've done a couple shifts where I've worked 23 hours, 18 hours, 17 hours, yeah, because of like a medical emergency will happen at work, like a custody might have issues, and they have to go to hospital. So
yeah,
me as a late team, a late crew, I end up going there, taking over, and usually staying there for 12, 13 hours with them until they're either admitted or discharged.
yeah,
If they're discharged, obviously they go to the prison. If they're admitted, the prison take over. But it's just a case of you're with them throughout the whole time they're in the hospital. So you're obviously looking after them, making sure that their sort of well-being and bits are met. Most of the time you're having a good bit of banter with them, to be honest.
yeah, I
Like,
bet.
the amount of times you're having a laugh with someone, you just like cuff to them like this, and then you're just having a laugh with them, and it's just
Yeah,
funny. Everyone around you in the hospital room's looking at you all funny, but you're just having a laugh. It's a good way to take the edge off of what's going
yeah.
on.
It does sound very demanding as well mentally.
Mm,
But
mm.
so on that, how does that affect bodybuilding, and how does that affect the rest of your life? Yes, in my head, I'm thinking, hang about. So if he's got 4 or 5
Oh,
sessions to fit in, this isn't going to
yeah.
be. Sometimes there must be
It is
times things falter.
it is catastrophic sometimes. Josh knows all about it. Um, So I've when I was on day shifts, so you start at 6 a.m. and you don't
Yeah,
finish usually until 6 p.m., 7 p.m. So long old days.
12,
Uh,
13
I
hour
would,
days. Yeah.
yeah, I would usually train after work, but I'd be up at 4 a.m. So let's say I finish at 7 p.m. I train 2 hours, 3 hours like yourself, obviously. You
I
just
love
get,
how you
you
say
just,
like 2, 3 hours like yourself. It's
yeah,
like, yeah, everyone
yeah,
knows now.
yeah. 2, 3 hours, yeah. I get home at like 10, 11, and I'm up in 5 hours.
Oh,
You just, you just like, so, it would just be a case of, oh, I finished right now. I'll go train for 2 hours. I got legs tonight. Smash legs out. I leave, I'm like, I'm exhausted.
yeah,
And then you rinse and repeat. Luckily now I'm late crew, so I start at 11 a.m., but I still don't have a finish time. So I usually would get up at 6. I'll train before work, shower, get ready, eat a meal, start my work. Usually I finish still pretty late at night, but it's a bit more manageable.
yeah.
It's just like, as I said, if you have days where you do over 12 hours when you're a late crew, you're running until early hours in the morning. Like, as I said, when shit hits the fan, it does. Like, as I said, you do those 20-hour days, 18-hour days. You are there for the long haul, and it's a case of I usually message Josh in the morning after shift. I go, just did 18 hours, gonna sleep, eat, see if I can train. I'll let you know. My communication with Josh is really good. I keep him in the loop with everything.
Yeah,
But I
good.
go, yeah, new bodyweight job today, training this before work. Hopefully don't finish late. Or as I said, if I finish late, I communicate that with him.
Yeah,
So it's okay. Like, I bring my meals with me. I eat the meals in the back of the vans. Like, obviously got custodies with me in the van. There's like might be 6 of them, and now I'm eating a meal. I'll usually have a laugh and a joke with them. Um, I try and drink as much water as possible. Like,
yeah.
we might pop to a shop, get some more water, or it's just a case of just balance it where I can. Steps is the only problem though. Steps is the one I find is a bit of a pain, just because of the. Oh, they cut out.
No, you're still there, mate. Still here
Oh,
with me.
sound. Oh, cool. Yeah,
Yeah, don't
cool.
worry.
Yeah, so the steps, just because if I'm on the van for ages and hours, I'm not moving. I might be moving up and down the corridor of the van to give out waters, to go to cells and stuff. But it's what I mean, that's the only one which is a bit hard to maintain. But everything else I've sort of got down to a T. I just will train before work, eat my meals, get my water in, just do my shift and then
Just do
drive
what you
home.
can.
And
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not the most optimal way to bodybuild for sure, but as I say to a lot of, I've got some lads who are a bit more like, they need to do everything to the dot, otherwise they won't win shows. I'm like, just like chill. Like, I just try and keep it as basic as possible. I usually just say, like, as long as you get your meals in,
yeah,
my timings are so off. Like, I could train and not go home for like an hour or two, and then I was like, it is
yeah.
atrocious. If Josh is listening, he's gonna throw a brick at me or something. It's
This is
gonna be
where you've
bad.
been saying to him, yeah, all good, mate.
Yeah,
Perfect.
mate,
Time
it's
is
to the
perfect.
T, it's
Yeah.
to the T, mate, to the T. Like, miles off.
Yeah.
Usually I just say, as long as you get your meals in, like, you train hard, you train with intensity and purpose, and as I said, like, you tick off your variables when you can.
Yeah.
Like, I get to the end of the day, everything's done, but it might not be the most seamless way of doing it.
Yeah.
So, like, my day the other day when I got injured, I think, like, I think I was eating a meal on the way home, like 6 hours after the incident. I was just shattered. Like,
Yeah.
one shoulder working, I was trying to drive with one arm. I was like, oh my gosh. Like, it was just like, I was just
Just
like,
shaking as he's getting his meal in.
oh
Ah.
no, my arm was pinching. I have to eat with my left arm. Like, this shoulder's blown to pieces. I'm like,
No.
so it's just like, that's what I mean. Like, there's things happen, and it's like, I still got to get it done. It might not be the most seamless way, but it gets done.
Thing is, I think that is just a good. That's it's kind of a good segue into us both, like saying to everyone listening, like you can bodybuild, you can
Mm,
like as much as people are like everything needs to be set up perfectly. We all have lives. We all have so many factors. Shit goes wrong.
yeah.
Family issues, career issues. You might lose your job. You might get a new job that's more taxing. Like there's
Mm,
so many other factors that could affect your life. No one's got a perfect life. No one.
no.
And you can still make. Look at the amount of progress you've been making. Like
Mm,
and now knowing this, it makes it even more
mm,
impressive for me looking at
mm.
that to you, mate. So like,
Thank you.
props to you.
Thank you.
You can make insane amounts of progress, even if your
Mm,
life is not set up perfectly. As long as you're willing to do what you need to do to get shit done, there
yeah.
is, there's ample progress to be made.
That's it.
See, even the dog agrees in the background.
Yeah.
He's saying, yeah, bang on.
Yes. That's what one of my dogs kicking off. I don't know why.
I
One
don't
of
know,
them.
mate. He's probably just
Yeah.
agreeing with what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Probably. Oh gosh.
But yeah, there's so many factors in life that can just try and steer us off course.
That's it.
And it's how you deal with them, it's how you manage them. And yeah, I mean, my life's not perfect. I try and set it up as well as I can for bodybuilding because it is, it's my main passion. I love it, but life is life. You can't help
Oh
that.
yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
It's
And bodybuilding is a sport where I think it just shows, however much you want it, it will show on stage. Regardless of what goes on. No one cares about what goes on in your life.
That's it.
It's the end result. So it doesn't matter how you get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's as you said, it's approaching with a bit more of like a Yates method, or just like
100%.
if you have the passion for the training and the sport itself, you will find a way.
Yeah.
Like it might not be pretty, but it might look a bit rugged around the edges, but if you still get it done, it's still working, I suppose. Like I've had many days where I've done a super late shift and I get home at 1-2 a.m. I'm up in 2 hours. I just get it done. Like it's sleep is probably like the my kryptonite at the moment, but stuff gets done regardless. Obviously, I'll catch up on sleep on the weekends when I can, but it's like it's not the be all end all. If I get super beautiful 10 hours sleep, it would be nice, but I know there's the shit that still needs to be done.
Yeah,
it has to get done regardless. Like it's not a job where I can just call in sick, like, oh, I won't come in today, I need more sleep. There's things that need to be done and get dealt with. Things I need to do with training before work, and it's just I've got things I need to work hard and pay for, and it's just things, so many things behind that which will just keep me moving towards that goal, I suppose.
Keeps you grounded and keeps you working
That's
towards
it.
it regardless. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
And I wanted to make a point before we finish of like you made a nice comment about your mum, and it made me think about role models in your life, and it becomes clear that mum's obviously one of them.
100%.
You mentioned about health issues, like similar with my mum. Like I've seen my mum. Obviously, I don't know what mum's going through, but whatever she is, I wish you all the best. I wish her all the best.
Appreciate it.
With seeing people you love battle shit that you would potentially never see them or see happening, it gives you even more perspective on them as a person. And I know my mum is like the strongest person in my life. No one is stronger than her, not even me. And everything I do in life is to make her proud, and I will continue doing so because I know she's been through enough, and I want to do my best for her. She's still standing, much to some, disbelief. Like sometimes I even like pinch myself as to like, oh, you're still here. Like she's a walking miracle sometimes, but it makes me think, fucking hell, like if she can go through so much shit, like stuff going on in my life, it doesn't matter. It does not matter so much. It really doesn't.
Yep.
Would you say she's
100%.
Would you say mum's like one of your biggest role models?
Yeah, 100%. Like, as you said, like a lot of health issues. Even like probably the last 10 years or so, there's been just so much. Obviously, seeing that as I've gone through my teenage years, and even the last 2 months, massive big changes have happened.
Yeah.
As I said, it's seeing someone have a nice flow for ages and then just completely drop and then just be on the uprise slowly. It's good to see, but obviously it was just it's crazy just to see how quickly something can change. With my mum, obviously, I'm happy to go into it further, maybe in a different episode and stuff. Obviously, it would take a lot longer than just like 5-10 minutes to go over, but it's, as I said, a lot of inspirations taken from my mum. Just as I said, her adversity to dealing with everything. Like she's very selfless in the approach. Obviously, she always thinks, oh, I need to do it for my boys or for her partner, and it's just like it's always others over herself. And obviously, I carry that with me as well. As I said, it's just the ability to deal with all of the adversities, all the health issues, all of the issues just with like divorce and all those bits. I mean, just being able to just still, as you said, be standing and be that optimistic person and still withhold yourself to a standard where you can still be looked up to is it's obviously respectable
Yeah,
from lots of outside perspectives for sure.
100%. Yeah, it's
Mm.
yeah, mums are built different, man. They really are.
That's yeah, they really are. Oh, yeah,
They
yeah, yeah,
really are built
100%.
different. And we'll take that throughout life with ourselves, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with this podcast, what I'll try and do,
Hmm.
and honestly, I would love to have you on again at some point. Obviously, I
Mm.
open the floor up to, or open the invitation up to everyone that comes on. I want to
Of course.
continue having these conversations. If
Mm.
you'll come on again, that would be perfect.
Absolutely. I'd love to. It's been nice. It's been really good.
It's nice to have
Um,
these sort of conversations, isn't it?
mm.
Just
Yeah.
casual, but let's see where they go. Let's see what we can
Mm.
delve into.
Hmm.
And it's nice, you know, hopefully people listen to this that know you and
Hmm.
maybe learn a bit more about you as well, or know
Yeah.
of you. It's
Hmm.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Um, I think what I try and do is, and I know it's a little bit of an open-ended question, but see where you can go with this. And there's no like right or wrong answer, and
Of
it doesn't have
course.
to be of any length. But for people listening that might be struggling out there now,
Hmm.
you know, you've spoken about, you know, holding the weight of a lot of what you do in work as well. So maybe it's something that you can talk about a little bit. But if there's someone out there struggling right now and they don't know how to talk about it or even approach the issue, what
Mm.
would you, if anything, what would you advise them to do? What would a bit of advice that you'd give to them?
Um, I think it'd be a case of I sometimes find helping people helps a lot.
Yeah,
So a case of doing selfless acts like even for family members or friends, just looking out for them, and then just naturally that sense of helping someone can help too. And you just naturally just talk to people. It's a case of just like you know, go and meet someone, a friend or something, go for a drive or have a drink, have a coffee, go train, for example.
yeah,
You just vent some of those emotions. And obviously, if it's with closer people, for sure, you can obviously keep people in the loop with things. Obviously, like I've had some tough days, and I'll message Josh to be like, "This just happened, mate. Feeling a bit crap." Or I message my mum or my dad, like anyone. Like you just chat. It might be like come across really blunt, like, "Oh, Harry's just done this today," but then it opens up the conversation. It's just however the approach is, just throw it in there, and then
yeah,
you just then vent. Um, and I think it's a case of not being afraid to talk. I think, as I said, it's a lot of the modern day sphere is getting better now, but it's still quite bad. It's just being afraid to talk is almost seen as a bit of a weakness.
yeah.
It's not. Like I've seen lots of grown men just break down, and that's fine. It's nothing wrong with that. As I said, it's then taking the opportunity to then talk to someone, look after them, and even if it's yourself, just allowing it to happen so you can then allow yourself to be healed. I think it's there's no set way of dealing with it. I think it's just always trying to be better, whether that be physically, mentally, emotionally. You just always have got to try. You can't let yourself be stagnant. I think that's it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
that's
that's
brilliant.
a
No,
yeah.
there's honestly there's no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever
Mm.
you think you can give to someone. Because I started this because this is what I wanted when I was struggling and I didn't have that outlet. I wanted to
Mm.
feel comfortable to talk to people. I wouldn't talk to family members, and it was only until I went to counselling in
Hmm.
what, 2022. 20 no, it
Yeah.
wasn't even that. It's probably 2021 actually at the start of the year, and
Yeah.
that was something that allowed me to open up to a random person. So I was like, okay, cool. So if I can do that to a randomer, um, that obviously is meant to be here to allow me to do so,
Hmm.
I can be better. I can be better with my emotions and opening up to my friends. And then I started talking
Yeah.
to my friends more, and then I started opening
That's
up
it.
to my family members, and then to my partner.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool. You are able to do this. And then over time, I realized through conversations in the gym, for the way I was acting with people, the way I wanted to help people naturally, pushing them in the gym, realizing that actually I might be a good coach, realizing
Yeah.
that I could get a lot out of people through what I say and how I motivate people. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to do this on a grander scale through means of this, because talking when done properly, when the
Yeah.
floor's opened up, it
Yeah.
is a real lifesaver, genuinely. And
It
I
really is.
yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, some of the conversations I've had on here so far, I've learned about people, I've learned about yourself, and it brings me so much pleasure to be able to do something like this, knowing that even one person listening might turn around to somebody and say, "Do you know what? Can we have a chat? I've just got something in my mind I want to talk about." That
That's
to
it.
me is the win. That's what I want to do.
Yep.
And I've said it before and I say it again, anyone out there that wants to open up and reach out to me as someone that they may not know that well, but
Yep.
you know, that they might feel compelled to do so, please do. I know it's a lot. Some people might be like, well, why would you open yourself? I want to help people. So hopefully more of this, more conversations down the line, and the Spotter, we can get it to be the #1 mental health podcast out there, mate. That's the goal.
That's it. That is it. Yeah.
I'd love to, Harry, honestly, thank you for coming on. If, you know, when the time's right, we'll get you on again. We'll talk about other things. Maybe we can both talk about
Absolutely
backgrounds, like with our biggest role models, our mums, and everything they've been through, and why
for sure
we look up to them so highly. So,
absolutely.
Thank you very much for coming on, mate. And let's
Thank
keep
you.
the conversation flowing again. Yeah,
absolutely. Thank you, Matt.
Cheers,
Appreciate
mate.
it. It's been great. See you later.
Thanks, Harry. Thank you, mate.